Hello everyone, and welcome to the next edition of the Holland Land Office Museum's Artifact video series. My name is Ryan Duffy and I'm the director of the museum, and this week we're going to talk about Batavia's most famous women, the Aqua Queen of Lake Erie, Mrs. Greta Patterson herself. Now, the picture we have of Greta here is when she was a very small child, long before she made her famous swim across Lake Erie, but it's still a very nice portrait of her. Now, Greta was born in 1937 in Batavia, but she rose to fame in 1955 when she was set to make her attempt to swim across Lake Erie. And if she was successful, she would be the first person to accomplish the 15-mile trek. Now, swimming was, you could say, in Greta's blood, as she had been swimming since she was about 2 years old and had swam in many of the local lakes and often trained out in Godfrey's Pond. And was even a lifeguard at the School for the Blind for many years. And when she was 18, she was set to make this famous swim across Lake Erie, as it was her dream to swim across large bodies of water, one being Lake Erie and another Lake Ontario. The swim was set for July 4th, 1955, but there was quite a few months of lead up where Greta began training. Now, Greta was the daughter of Dr. Guy Patterson, who was a well-known dentist here in Batavia, and we actually have one of his chairs and his cabinet here from his dental office, which is why it is near Greta's portrait. But she was assisted by several trainers and managers. Her manager was a Frank Klein out of Attica, who worked on all the publicity for the event and getting it ready, and Lawrence Slocum of the Attica Red Cross was her trainer and assisted her in the process of getting ready for this 15-mile trek. Now, the goal for the swim, at least in Greta's mind, was to make it in about 12 hours. However, when she eventually completed the swim, it took her just over 13 hours, so it just went a little bit longer than what she had originally planned. Now, the swim was to take place beginning in Angola, New York, and make its way across to Crystal Beach, Ontario. So on the morning of July 4th, Greta took off from Angola, and she was waved farewell by a few hundred supporters. However, there were many more waiting for her in Ontario if she was able to make the swim across. She started out across the chilly waters of Lake Erie and made a pretty good pace. However, she started suffering from stomach cramps and was having issues with her goggles at certain points, which made it more difficult for her. Now, she was not just swimming across Lake Erie all on her lonesome. There was actually a 28-foot boat that she would swim near that would help her out if need be, and was there to give her food and refreshment if and when needed. And some of the things they had was orange juice and honey that would supposedly help her continue the trek, but she was unable to keep anything down while she was swimming. Eventually she was able to pick up pace, though her 15-mile trek actually ended up turning into more of a 17-mile trek as a wind out of the northeast pushed her slightly off track and added about 2 miles to her swim, which made it even more of an impressive feat. And she had to deal with some choppiness of the waves and other boats going in the area. But her biggest fear was actually having to come across dead insects or dead fish in the water as she swam. Luckily, she was able to avoid any major catastrophes with that. She was eventually able to make her way across the Crystal Beach, and when she was pulled up onto the pier at Crystal Beach, she was greeted by 20,000 people, including the mayor of Crystal Beach. Her parents were there, as well as all her well-wishers. And this was a famous feat, as at only 18 years old, she was able to be the first person to swim across the width of Lake Erie. Instantly, Greta became a celebrity, and when she came back to Batavia, they had a sort of impromptu awards ceremony at City Hall, and about 150 people showed up. About a month later, a major event was planned to honor Greta, but also to use her celebrity to help fund an important cause to her here in the city of Batavia, and that was to raise money to build a community pool, as there hadn't been one in Batavia up until this point. This event, called Swimmerama, was held in a built pool on the grounds of Batavia Downs, on the infield there, and nearly 10,000 people showed up for the event, which brought in all sort of famous swimmers and aquabats and all sorts of celebrities to the area, and it raised over $6,000 towards the building of the pool. And over time, the proceeds would grow to somewhere near $80,000 to help maintain the pool. But Greta was the highlight still of the night, even though she didn't actually do any performances. She greeted the crowd and took pictures and did all of that stuff. People just ate it all up. But her celebrity was not only in Batavia, as it grew nationally. She was featured in the magazine 17, which was sort of a teen magazine of the 50s. And she even appeared on some television programs as well. So she really did become a national celebrity. Now, the next year, she attempted to swim across Lake Ontario to Toronto, but unfortunately was only about able to make it halfway before she had to give up. Though it was still an impressive feat to swim about 17 miles again. When she completed her swim across Lake Erie, she had just graduated from Batavia High School, and after that she went on to graduate from Miami University down in Florida. Though she kept up her swimming appetite throughout her adult life, and eventually she married and moved to Southern California, where she is still today. But she has come back to Batavia for different events, and in 1997 in particular, she came back because the city of Batavia actually named its youth center after her, the Greta Patterson Youth Center at MacArthur Park. So her accomplishment is still honored here in Batavia. She's still talked about here in Batavia as the Aqua Queen of Lake Erie, and it's still an amazing feat that she was able to accomplish this and only at the age of 18. So be sure to stop in at the Holland Land Office Museum and see us and check out all the wonderful things we have on display, and you can learn more about stories of famous people like Greta. And I hope you've enjoyed this edition of our Artifact video series. If you've missed any of our previous ones, be sure to check them out on our YouTube channel, Holland Land Office Museum. And I hope that you check in with us in the future as we'll keep doing these videos.